All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Let me make sure everything is all good here. Let's see you. Go down the list, see who's here. Rick, Steven, Caroline, Cheryl, another Rick, Glenn. There's about 95 people, so I can't go through all of them. Kent. Nice to see you, Kent. Uh, Dawn, Anne, Felicia. Felicia, how's it going? Selena, Shem. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We're gonna get started in about 1 minute here, and let me introduce you to the main man, Josh Woodward. Josh, go ahead and say hi.
What's up, y'all? How you guys doing? It's good to be here. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
Jordan says, Dean, what's with the flat screen? Looking good, my brother. That's how I roll, Jordan. That's how I roll. That is 99% of the time. That is either Baby Einstein or Little Einstein or Dora the Explorer. I don't think I've actually watched anything on that for the last few years, actually.
Hey, at least you're on that. I'm still in a garage, so hey.
All right, guys. So what we're gonna do is we have that chat room up, and if you have any questions, feel free. We're gonna answer questions near the very end, unless it's a really good question, and I'll break in and ask the question for you. There is actually an option to make your comment a question. And Daryl says, nice setup in the background. Scott says, it looks like a high LPR 40. You are right, Scott. That is exactly what this mic is. Love it. On top of that, so we will also be starting in about 1 minute. Just want to make sure everyone got here, but excited to be able to do this for you guys completely free. No pitch webinar, which is very rare these days. Love it. And get a drink and we'll get started. All right. So let's get started. So if you don't know me, my name is Dean Soto. I am the Chief Marketing Automation Officer for Bartlett Enterprises, as well as the Online Empire Academy. And that's a fancy title for I do all the online stuff and make it happen and work automatically. And with me today, we have another team member, part of Brett Bartlett's team, Josh Woodward, who is his eBay guru up in Redding, California. And what we wanted to do, the reason why we're doing this totally free webinar is because we are on a mission to bring a ton of amazing content to you guys, really build a community in a consistent fashion that we can all come together and help each other, whether it's eBay or whether it's Amazon or whether it's online marketing, whatever it is, to come together, share ideas. So Josh is actually going to partner up with other people and bring them on webinars like this and on the Online Empire Academy podcast, things like that. And because we really, really, really want to build a huge cohesive community. Thank you so much for being here. It's going to be really, really awesome. So because there's no pitch or anything like that, the only thing that we do ask, and you don't have to do it, but there should be some social sharing icons on the bottom. If you love us, if you love Josh, poor Josh, he needs love. If you can love him enough to click on one of those sharing apps, that would be awesome. It's either Twitter or Facebook, and people who join later can actually get a replay of this. So, all right, Josh. So here's Josh Woodward. I want to turn this over to him. Josh is going to introduce himself. Take it away, Josh.
How you guys doing? Yeah, so I'm Josh Woodward. I live in Redding, California, pretty much as far North California as you can get. Just a little town out here. I came up here to be a part of a ministry school, and am finishing my third year of that this year. Kind of realized about a year into ministry school that I needed money. And so started with the eBay game pretty soon after that. Been working with Brett and his team for the last 2 years. It's been super fun, super great team, super fun environment. Um, it's been good, but I've definitely had to learn eBay on the go, as well as learning eBay while doing something else. So if I can do it, you guys can do it. I was a full-time student, and now I'm doing this pretty much full-time now. So yeah, I'm super excited to be here and kind of share the knowledge that I have.
That's awesome, man. That is so cool. So before we start, I do want to ask. So I'm actually gonna put this poll up real quick. Um, what is everybody's eBay level? And so you should see the poll up there right now. Go ahead and start clicking. This way, it kind of helps us to kind of guide this talk in a way that's going to be most beneficial to everybody. So right now, which is cool, looks like we have about most people are beginner to average, so that's cool. We have a couple experts. I'm still waiting for Jordan to click the I am the expert on this. Jordan, if you can go and click that, hurry up, please.
It's good.
He's not clicking. You're modest. You're too humble, Jordan. Appreciate it. Okay, so it looks like the vast majority is beginner to average. A few experts. So cool to have you guys because you'll add a ton of value to this as well. And I do believe that you will still get some golden nuggets from this. So awesome, guys. I really appreciate you taking the time to let us know. All right. So Josh, take it away. What are your 5 simple secrets, man?
Okay, so my 5 simple secrets, first off, they kind of just developed over time. Just trying to figure out what are the best ways to do this. I'm gonna start out even before I hit the 5 points. I have 3 things that you guys need. Number one is the official eBay app. You cannot leave home without it. If you're garage sailing, if you're doing anything with retail stores, anything that you plan on selling on eBay, you need the eBay app. It's the greatest tool. I use it every single day, and I typically do almost. I mean, it's probably 80% of all that I do on eBay is based from my phone. So if you guys have a smartphone, download the app. It will save your life. Second is it's kind of just something that I use and I like is the Amazon Price Check app. That has absolutely changed my life. I'm able to scan anything from anywhere. You're able to do the same thing from eBay, but it kind of gives me a different venue to test and look at what my product is worth. Um, the third thing is get a notebook. Carry around a notebook. I have one in my car all times. Whenever I'm out, whenever I'm doing anything and I pick up a product, I just jot it down what I bought it for. It ends up helping on the long run way more because you have a reference to what you paid for it and what you intend to sell. So those are the top 3 things. If you want to get started, this is the best way to do it. Yeah, so okay, let's get into it. 5 simple secrets for easy eBay profits. Number one, don't just know your product, love your product. I cannot even begin to tell you how valuable this is. Um, there's a ton of different websites. There's a ton of different ways to find out what products are hot. Do it. Do the research up front. It will help you way more on the back end. If you're able to find out, hey, what are the products I'm into that also sell really well. So for instance, one of the things that I love that I will sell on the sides is Nerf guns. They are a hot seller. We cannot keep them in stock. So that's kind of an exclusive for you guys. This is something that you can latch onto. I have studied which Nerf guns sell the best, which ones are a pain in the butt to ship. I've begun to study all of that. So I would say pick 3 things that you like out of the top sellers and go after them. Study them. Figure out all the different aspects of them that you like and enjoy, and then dig into them. Um, the next part of that is ask around. The people around you are the best resource that you can possibly have. There's somebody who has the next product that will blow your profits out of the water. So, for instance, my fiance is she's an assistant at a school, and she'll go and ask the kids, "Hey, what are your favorite items?" And they're like, I love um, Doc McStuffins. And so we'll go out and we'll try to find products around Doc McStuffins and see how they sell. Your kids, your nephews, your nieces, the kid down the street, I don't care. Just go to them, ask questions, as well as family members. The people, your immediate community around you is the best resource you can possibly have to understanding what products are going to sell. So yeah, but number one, do research. Love your product. Do it. It's way worth it. Number two is customer service. Customer service is absolutely everything. You can have great product, you can have great shipping, you can do all of that, but if your customer service isn't there, you're nothing. It's pointless. Along with that, your sales rank is so important. It's so important to make sure that you're communicating with your community, communicating with your buyers. For instance, like I said with the Nerf guns, I have people who are continually buying Nerf guns from me because I've had great customer service. I've made sure to answer messages. I've made sure to be there for them when they need it. Um, kind of just a top tip is if somebody messages you, try to message within that same day. I know it may be an inconvenience in the moment, but it gets sales and committed buyers for the long run. It's so key that you do that. And pride yourself on the quick response. Really make sure that you're going out of your way to be kind and considerate. I'm always like, hey, thank you for your interest in our product. And then I end it always with, if there's anything else we can help you with, please let us know. I know it's very elementary, and a lot of this training will be, but they're things that you need to build your foundation on. If you don't have this foundation, it's your eBay company is not going to run as smoothly as possible. Number three is hours versus production. This is super key. Your hours versus product as well as production is, you have to boil down your time and the product you're spending the time on. So here, I'll show you guys an example. This was a horrible idea. This is just a PS3 gun. What we thought was, oh man, it sells for 15 bucks. The dude sold it to us for a quarter. We're like, great, killer profits, right? The problem is this thing was covered in Sharpie. Worst idea we ever had, because now we probably have an hour into cleaning it and we haven't finished cleaning it yet. So please recognize the product that you have, recognize the hours of time that you're going to have into that product, and calculate it out. The best tip that I can give for you guys is the sell now. If you look on every single eBay listing, under the picture, there's a button that says sell now. If you're researching and you find somebody's listing that you like, click the sell now. Because eBay does this. eBay's a genius, it's a genius marketing opportunity, because once you click the sell now, it's going to generate a ton of information that you no longer have to put in. It's going to cut your time in half. I promise you, this is such a key. You don't have to make the listing alone. It's not something you guys have to do. Sell now will become your best friend. It will help you in the pack times when you're shipping a ton of stuff out, as well as the times when you have nothing else to do. The more you list, the more sales you get. I know, again, it's elementary, but it's super important that you get this into your head. The more quantity that you have, the more people are going to be watching you. The more sales rank that you get, the more people are going to be watching you. What you have to understand is again, I know I hit on this earlier, but you always will have time to do this business. What this business isn't for is the people who are, working an 8-hour week already. It's just, that's not going to work for you. I had a 40-hour work week with school, And then I would be working potentially 20 to 30 hours a week with Brett and his team on eBay. And I did it, but it is a lot of time. So make sure that you are looking at your time. Again, I want to bring it back to your hours versus product. Don't don't overload yourself with thousands of items if you don't have 1,000 hours to ship out, if you don't have 1,000 hours to list. Make sure that you're calculating that in before you buy a ton of product. Now, we have two different accounts running through Brett's stuff, and our account is actually quite small. We're doing about $3,000 a month, but we're also putting in just a little bit of time to that account. The other account, we have 3 people working on that account at all times, and that makes $12,000 a month. So it's you have to obviously justify your cost. Make sure that you're running your numbers and figuring out how much time can I put to this account. Um, Number 4 is check your flip rate. Something we use in our little eBay community is your flip rate. We typically do 3 to 5 times flip rate up here, and then down south in Southern California, they're up to about 10 times flip rate. So make sure you know your numbers before you go out. Now, what a flip rate is in simplicity is if I buy it for $1, I'm selling it for 10. That's a 10 times flip rate. Other words, it's a 10 points. And if you put it like basketball, the more points you have, the better you are. So you guys make sure that as you're going out, if I'm going to Goodwill, if I'm going to a garage sale, I'm making sure that I know what my flip rate is going to be before I go out. It's really dangerous just to go out and not take note of what that flip rate is going to be, because you end up buying, a stormtrooper helmet for $50. Find out, it's only going to sell for 100. That's not a good investment. Obviously, it's investment 101. So make sure you're keeping that in track and on time. Also, set your lowest price. What you have to realize is eBay takes a percentage of everything that you do. For instance, if you sell for, you do $2,000 worth of sales, it potentially could come out at like $300 to $500 worth of what sale they end up taking on taxes. So make sure you're taking that into account before you buy the product. Our price is $7.99. We do not spend above $7, or we don't buy anything that sells under $7.99. We just don't do it. It's not worth our time. It's not worth the shipping. It's not worth the listing. So to kind of break it down, it's if you set your price at $10, I am not buying anything that sells lower than $10 on eBay. What that's going to look like is you're going to have $5 of time and eBay expenses out of that. So that leaves you with $5. Then you have the cost of the product, which let's call it $2. You're going to have $3 of profit left. That's not a huge margin. So make sure you're establishing yourself on your flip rate. I'm not willing to go anything below a 3 times flip rate. I'm buying it for $1, selling it for $3. Also, establish what your sale price will be. I'm not going to sell anything below $2 or $10. Just do it. Trust me, it'll save so much headache in the long run. Number 5 is fast and efficient shipping. Free flat rate boxes. You guys, this is a top tip. Don't lose out on this opportunity. Flat rate shipping boxes from USPS will change your life. You can get free shipping boxes from the UPS store. If you go to their store, it's store.ups.com, and you look in their subcategory, you'll see free shipping supplies. I just got 100 of these shipping boxes. I use them all the time, and I got it 100% free. The post office lady just dropped it off at my door, which was awesome. And now I have free boxes to ship 24/7. I mean, I never have to go out and buy a box if I don't want to. So you guys, please take advantage of that. Obviously, if you need bigger things, you have the bigger items. UPS has great prices on their boxes. Also, Home Depot. I use Home Depot's boxes, their normal shipping boxes or moving boxes, all the time. They're a little bit more expensive, but I always calculate it into my cost of what my item is. But they end up saving your life because you don't have to wait for shipping. You don't have to wait for shipping. You don't have to wait for anything like that. You literally just go out and get them. Um, Second tip to that is always check your shipping and weight prices before you list. It's so important that you're checking those because if you don't check those, you are going to eat it on the back end. I cannot tell you how many things I've put up and I've listed trusted eBay's prices on their shipping and totally ate the cost of the item in the end. And I didn't make anything on it. Check your weight, weigh your dimensions, make sure your weight and dimensions are spot on before you list. I'm telling you, you will save so much money in the long run if you do this. Um, my last portion to this is do your best to ship the product the day of or the day after. Again, I have continual customers buying from my page because I've chosen to pride myself on shipping the same day. Just do it. It will end up saving you. I don't care if it's 12 o'clock at night, throw the thing in a priority mail packaging box and ship it out. I think we're going to be running in a few weeks, we're going to be running a shipping um, webinar or something like that, so you guys can know we've created a curriculum on shipping and how to ship and how to do that stuff. So please keep your eyes open for that. Um, yeah, so let's recap. Number one, don't just know your product, love your product. Please, you guys, fall in love with what you're doing. If you don't love your product, why should your customers love their product? Just understand that your desire, my desire to continue eBay has been based on me loving product. I love vinyl records. If you guys want to send me records, please do. I will eat them up. I have pride myself on loving that product and understanding and researching and digging into what is the best records, what am I going to sell them at. Just love your product, you guys. Customer service, number two. Don't lose your customer service. Don't forget to answer questions. I don't care how petty it is. Do it. It's better for you to refund a customer than to fight the customer. It's not worth your time to lose that customer. It's better to get the good review and send him the money back and let him keep the item. Trust me, it works. It just trust me on that. Um, Hours versus product. Make sure that you're looking the item over. Make sure that you're testing it before you buy it, or looking it over and making sure that there's no scuffs, scratches, anything. It's way worth your time in the end to do that. Again, you guys, check your flip rate. It's not worth losing money. Just check it. Make sure that you go out and you're confident in what you're going to buy items for. Also, be confident in what your sale price is. Don't go below that $7.99 mark is what we go. We never buy anything. Make sure you're being attentive to that when you're out buying. I don't care how good the item is. Make sure that there's a profit margin in there for you. Also, when you're out, hunt and buy accordingly to those numbers. Please, you guys, it's so crucial that you do that. Fast and effective shipping speaks for itself. Get it out in time and make sure that you are on top of that with your customers. It's way worth it. You guys will get continued customers. It's from experience I'm talking to you guys. So yeah, that's the end of the 5 awesome, super great steps to easy profits.
Awesome, man. And speaking of fast and efficient shipping, we're not even halfway through the webinar, which means we get see how fast and efficient you are? You just went right through them. That's awesome. But cool. This leaves a lot of Q&A, which is great. So, are you ready for some Q&A, man?
Please, let's go.
Sweet. So Cheryl asks, do you answer email for lowball offers?
I do. It's worth the time, honestly. I'll usually go back and forth. For instance, I had a lady email me like 6 times, and this is back and forth about a Monopoly board. And I told her like I'm not willing to go below $12, and she kept lowballing me at 7 and kept lowballing me. And it was like a 2 week process to get her to come down. I ended up just keeping the board. It wasn't worth my time, but she ended up responding to me and being like, "Hey, I really appreciate your willingness to talk and continue to communicate. So it's way worth your time. I promise, it's worth it."
That's awesome. That's awesome. Great, great. Next is Rob. When you were talking about the different apps, he said, is it different than the seller app for Amazon? What's the difference between the eBay app and the Amazon app? Like, why do you
Okay,
use both?
perfect. Um, a lot of times eBay customer or eBay sellers will put their item at like $60. So let's say, you get a Michigan mug. This is your Michigan mug, and this is your hot item. And there's an eBay guy who's selling that Michigan mug for $60 because he bought it from the stadium, and it's his favorite, but he wants to post it to make extra money. I will check that price. I will check the sale price on Amazon, because Amazon, typically what I'm finding is Amazon actually has true prices. Sorry, eBay, it's just the reality of the situation. The eBay price will end up being 60 when the Amazon price is $12, and then I will list it for $12 and sell it every single time. I promise. It's way worth the double check. I know it's a pain, but double check it. It's way worth it.
Great, great. All right. So next, from Cheryl. Cheryl's dominating on these questions,
Come on.
but we do have a lot of other people too, which is great. Keep on asking your questions. We have a lot of time. This is what we wanted. This is what we wanted, to build a community like this, to be able to really to help each other out like this. And if you have the answer to the question, don't feel free. Feel free to put it in the chat. All right,
Please.
I'm excited about this. So, Cheryl says, do you take all your own photos, or do you use stock photos for new items?
Always my own. It's really, really important that you get any scratches and scuffs on your items. So if there's any defects, please take a picture of it. It's so much worth your time. Like, it's gonna save you the hassle of returns. People get really mad at a product that has faulty pictures. If you have a tiny chip and you're like, man, this is like, it's not that big of a deal. It's better for you to take the picture of the chip, then leave it out. I promise you, it's again worth your time.
Awesome. All right, let's see. Next, we have. Let me move that. Do you ship worldwide?
Yes, absolutely. I actually just shipped a Nerf gun to a guy in England. He was really stoked on it, and I mean, it ended up costing him a little bit more on it, but again, he will be a return customer. He said if I ever get any more Nerf, to let him know. So it's worth it. It ends up costing him a little bit more. But if you don't ever do free shipping and sell to a person from across the seas. It just doesn't work. You end up eating way too much cost. So make sure that like the item they're asking has a standard shipping price on it.
Great. Melissa says, what do you use to ship LPs?
Shipping LPs, you have to order special boxes. Sorry, guys. A little life hack though, if you don't want to ship that and you don't want to incur the cost of that, the here I'll pull one out. Priority mail medium boxes. These you can cut off the ends and they fold over on themselves and fit an LB perfect. Maybe Dean, we could post a video of that sometime. I know there's some guys on YouTube that have that already. We'll get that information for you if we don't create our own video. It's super simple, super easy. I don't prefer to use it though because it doesn't protect as well, but if you're just starting out, it's a great way to do it. Great life hack. Go YouTube it. If not, we'll work on something or post a video.
Great. All right. Brenda says, is there a listing fee on eBay?
There is a listing fee. Now, again, there's a little bit of a life hack on this. you can use your phone and it's free listing on your phone. I pretty much I take my pictures from my phone. I have the iPhone 6 Plus, so it's got a good camera on it. I take the pictures and I list them. It's so simple, so easy. If you don't use your phone, it's a 30-cent listing fee. So again, calculate that into your cost, calculate into that your flip rate, all of that. It's really important that you do that. I still calculate it even if I'm listing from my phone, that 30-cent fee.
Cool. Very cool, man. All right. I love these life hacks. I am not an eBayer whatsoever, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I had no idea you could do that. All right. Oh, Pat says, what was your comment about sell now?
Sell now. Okay, I'll go back over that. There's a sell now button. So if you're go on eBay right now and click on anybody's listing, it doesn't matter. Right under the picture, there's a sell now button, and that enables you to sell one exactly similar. You can't have their pictures; it won't let you generate their pictures, but it will let you generate all their information. Our the guy who taught me how to eBay, he was the one that was like, please use this. Like, you will get their shipping costs, you will get their all their information about, it's a vintage bike, or it's a, whatever category it's in, you get that category. And sometimes it allows you to keep their title as well. And title is key. You get search terms out of it, you get all that. So if their item's getting a ton of hits, use their title. Just copy it, paste it. It's way easier. Change a little bit about it so you make it yours. Whether you're using special things. All of my listings have specific items on them, or specific hashtag or whatever. We always put something on there that distinguishes me from the rest of them. That way, sellers or buyers know who I am.
Oh, I love it. Cool. All right. Guys, you guys are awesome for having all these questions. This is what we were hoping, what we would hope happen. All right. Next, Fran says, is a transparent background important, and is it worth the time?
A transparent background for
The item,
shipping,
I'm
for the
guessing.
item. Okay. Um, I use a white sheet. I literally grabbed an old sheet we weren't using, stapled it up on the wall, and we take pictures against that every single day. I find it important because if there's something that's, if you were to use a colored sheet, or, a colored background, and your item was that exact same color, it ends up blending in. Where white, you can get away with it a little better with shadows and things like that. Our setup, we have two just like stock lamps that we put on either side of our table, our shipping, or our picture table, a sheet that hangs down, and then we put the item in front of it and shoot the pictures. So it's super simple. You don't have to get crazy with it. I mean, you can do all the special backgrounds and stuff, but I find the white backgrounds more appealing. So yeah.
Love it. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Michael asks, do you use Terapeak?
I have no idea what that is. I'm sorry. It sounds great though. I'll look into it.
Sweet. Let's see. Shem says, do you have an assistant, or do you do all this stuff alone?
I do have an assistant. We got big enough that I was able to bring my fiance onto the team. So she does all of the pictures, as well as the listings. So I basically, my job is going in and finding product, as well as shipping it out, helping her ship, and yeah, it's great. It's super good. Make sure that like you have somebody you trust and love. That way, there's good communication. It's really important that you're getting what you need for the listings. We also have a part of our team is outsourced, and he does all of our listings. So any listings that we're not doing, we send pictures to him, and he makes the listings. That was what I started with this business. Was I was literally getting pictures and listing the items. So I have the listing thing down. It is my golden goose, I guess. I can list in like 7 minutes, so I'm pretty proud of it. I don't know. It's pretty much a big deal, but whatever.
It's pretty. That's something to be proud of, man.
Yeah.
William says, "Do you do free shipping?"
I hate free shipping. I'm sorry. I've lost so much money off of it. eBay tries to promote it all the time, and it totally can be a good thing if you've calculated the cost of your item into the shipping. Like if you have added the cost of shipping into the listing price. I found that our sales actually went down when we did free shipping. We literally put everything behind me. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is our office is in a garage. We literally have everything in here, all of our stock, and we put everything in here for free shipping. Our sales went down, I think, by 15%. So you guys, those are big numbers, and it works for some people, totally didn't work for us. Free shipping was a waste of our time and our money. So calculate the cost. Be the best. My best advice to this is don't do free shipping. Be the best price on the market. It's way better for you to go that avenue rather than going the free shipping avenue. When I'm scanning prices, when I'm out there with my eBay app and I'm searching things, if again, I'll use a Nerf gun. If I find a Nerf gun, and it's typically priced $23.99, I drop it down to $18 because I want to get it out as quick as possible. I also make sure that I'm buying the Nerf gun according to that $18 price. Be the best price out there. You guys will beat competition every single time with the best price. So yeah,
That's awesome, man. I love it. I love it. Because for me, I'm always thinking, well, yeah, you have to do free shipping. I mean, that's the norm, right? That's the whole reason why a lot of people do Amazon FBA is because of the free shipping and but to that it kind of goes against the grain of not necessarily common sense, but what's being promoted.
totally. Yeah, I lost too much money. I wouldn't. Some people works for some people. Didn't work for me.
That's crazy. Jordan says, Josh, do you see trending product categories that are defying the odds on eBay? For example, a huge amount of buyers are flooding to eBay instead of Amazon for X category.
Used. Period. That's it. I any pretty much anything used. I don't ever buy used off of Amazon. That's weird. I just don't do it. But if I want a jersey and I don't want to pay full retail price, I'm going to eBay because I know that I can find the exact same eBay or exact same jersey for a way discounted price. Yeah, it's used. I don't care. I don't need it new. So, um, without giving a ton of product, a list of product, it really is used stuff. I mean, vinyl. You don't sell. I didn't sell very well with vinyl on Amazon. I didn't, but I sold great on eBay. So again, like you can't. I don't know that you can even buy used Nerf guns on Amazon, but used Nerf guns on eBay sells like hotcakes. I'm telling you guys, get into it. It's way worth your time.
Awesome. Let's see. All right. Daryl says, how can you make your product stand out from the rest?
That's a great question. How do you make your product? Like I was saying earlier, lower numbers. If it's selling for 23, go 18. I know it may look like you're getting less profits, but you're gonna sell it 3 times quicker. I promise those guys will sit on it. I've been the guy who has the highest price, and I sit on my items all the time. We bought a whole bunch of Disney like Barbie dolls, and we sat on them for so long because we wanted to be the highest price. We didn't calculate our flip price well enough, and and ate cost on it because they've been sitting. But we dropped the price. I think we had them originally listed for $18, dropped them down to 10, and sold super super quick. I mean, we still have a few, but they sold really quickly. So you are going to be distinguished by your price. You're also going to be distinguished by your seller rank. If you are producing a lot, if you're out there having great customer service and great shipping, um, you're going to distinguish yourself. People will continue to come to you. It's a quick way to make quick money.
Very cool. Awesome. All right. So, Love it. This is cool. We are getting a ton of engagement, ton of back and forth. This is perfect. This is exactly what we asked. And like we said before, if you want to share this with other people, they'll actually get the replay if you click the share link or whatever. This there is going to be a replay for this as well. Literally like within the next 6 hours. Um, that's sent to you and stuff. So this is awesome, man. I really appreciate it, guys. This is so cool. So, do you ask for feedback? Sean has asked, do you ask for feedback?
It's a great question. I, gosh, I don't. You know what? We ran for a while a campaign of printing out a thank you for buying the product, and we put it in every single box. That worked pretty well. Got to be honest, guys, I got a little lazy and I stopped doing it. But I don't. I get a little put off when people do that, when they ask for feedback. It feels a little weird. Um, if I like your product enough to give you feedback, I will. But yeah, I think if you run something like, "Hey, thank you so much for buying the product. If there's anything that we can help you with, if you have any questions, if anything got lost or broken in this process, please let us know. We're here to help you." And you print it out, type it up, print it out, throw it in every single box you ship. They end up giving you way better feedback. I need to remember to continue to do that because it really helped our numbers. But besides that, I don't ever message people. I don't do that kind of stuff. Typically the only reason I'll do that is to make sure that it got to them on time. If something was across the pond, I'm gonna make sure that it got to them on time. Just double checking with the customer. But I've found that they typically don't even respond to it. So don't waste your time on it. I'd say throw the little card in your box. Even print out business cards. A little business card that says all that information. Throw it in there. You can go on Vistaprint and get crazy deals with that. So yeah, I'd say don't email them. Just throw it in a box.
Love it. Cool. All right. Riel says, I'm not. Actually, we did answer this. I answered that via chat. James said, how do you organize your team?
How do I organize my team? I had a conversation. I said, "Hey, what gets you on fire about eBay? Like, what are the things you've enjoyed? What are the things you hate?" And with my fiance, she was like, "I really dislike the customer service side. eBay people can be rude," and she was like, "I don't want to have to deal with them." She was also like, "I like getting product, but I'd rather be behind the scenes." And she said, "I hate shipping." So she only ships with me when she has to, when we're selling a ton. So ask the questions. You don't even need a team in all reality. You can do this on your own. But if you get to the point of being big enough to do that, please bring people on, ask good questions. The best boss, Brett, is incredible at this. He asks incredible questions. Make sure you're asking good questions to your employees. Make sure you're talking with your team about, hey, how did you experience this? What are things that we can do to grow? Are there trends that you're seeing that we're not tapping into? Communication goes, again, I said this earlier, but communication is so key to this whole process. Um, yeah, so how I assembled my team again was asking questions, and then you got to delegate responsibility a little bit, of making sure that stuff gets done. But besides that, I love my job. I love eBay. I'm passionate about it. It's too much fun for me. So, just make sure that you're still coming alive. Make sure that you're picking up product that's making you come alive, and that your team's doing the same. That's how I would delegate responsibility.
Now I want to do eBay. Now I'm all excited. Oh, cool. Let's see. Mark asks, what advice can you give for ranking high in Cassini's best match?
Oh man. Again, I'm sorry. I don't know what that is. I don't know what Cassini's best match is, but another thing for me to look up. I'm excited about that.
And it's cool because we can always. I mean, the plan is to do these on a consistent basis and come back and share what you've learned and what other. In fact, we'll get someone else who knows that, and you can
Totally.
have him come on.
Please, yeah, if there's anybody out there right now that knows the answer to that, please get up on that chat because that's important.
Cool. What percentage do you calculate for eBay costs?
I typically do 30%. It's just a safer way to do it. Um, it's not a, I don't know that it's proven, but I know there's an actual percentage that they tell you that they take out. I don't have it off the top of my head. I will get it for you though. But just from starting in Amazon, I started with Brett 2 years ago with Amazon, and I believe their listing fee is 30%. So I've kind of kept that in my mind. We end up making more than that. They don't take as much, but I will get back to you guys on that. That's a great question.
Awesome. Cool. Let's see. Make sure I am okay. I actually got a private comment, which was pretty good. One thing I find extremely important is regional rate shipping boxes. Do you use those at all?
Regional rate shipping boxes. Um, I just ordered some that came in the mail a couple weeks ago. Um, I haven't used a ton. I typically I'm using my Home Depot boxes for the bigger items or my flat rate boxes. Flat rate boxes do tend to cost a little bit more. But if you just get the priority mail mailing box, again, go on the store.ups.com and then go on to the priority mail section. And then there's a little tab that says free boxes. Click on it, order all of them. You will make it will make your life so much easier if you just go do that. And those like the one I showed you guys earlier, this one is I think it's upside down. This one is it's just a mailing box. So you just type in priority mail, and then you're not held into a specific shipping cost like $12, $18. You can choose obviously the weight based on what you're shipping out. So those are great. I love those.
Awesome. Cool, guys. We have about 10 minutes left of questions, and we have a ton of questions, which is great. So, Fran, this is actually a really good one too. I want to know this. What do you use to keep your books?
We have a super detailed Google Doc. Um, it's just the way so that we're in communication with Brett on what our numbers are and stuff. We keep a detailed box or a sheet. Also, in the beginning, remember I stressed having a notebook. That is so important because once you're done garage sailing, I mean, I'll go to 12 garage sales in a weekend, and I live in a super small town. So, we've had to make it work. But if you're hitting 20, 30 garage sales in a weekend, trust me, it's possible. When I was down in Southern California, I was doing it. So if you're hitting that many garage sales, you get home and you don't remember what you bought it for. You know how much cash you left with, and you know how much cash you returned with, but you don't have what you paid for the specific items, and that is really, really important. So keep that notebook because once you get home, you're going to have that notebook. You're going to know what you paid for it, and you're going to know better what you're going to price it at as well. Also, make sure if you drop prices to calculate that into your document, whatever way you're going to choose to keep your books. Make sure you do that because it's gonna end up eating you if you don't. It's gonna look like you made more money or you lost money on this. So yeah, make sure you're updating it constantly.
Right. Next is Terry says, in addition to asking people about their favorite items, what other resources can be used to find out what the best sellers are?
Um, it's a great question. There's a bunch of Facebook groups, and I'm actually working on contacting some of them to see if we can get this whole network involved in that. There's some amazing opportunities coming up, you guys. Please, please stay tuned because if we get a hook in this in this opportunity, it could be really, really helpful for you guys. So please keep in touch. I'll have more information on that later.
Love it, man. All right. Cheryl says, can you share your store name?
Yeah, oh gosh, I should know this off the top of my head. Um, I think our store is uh, Woodward underscore collectibles. I'm pretty sure that's it. I'll make sure to post it up. But yeah, that's our store. We also have another store from in Southern California. That's not the one I run. That's run by some of the other guys on our team. But I'll make sure to get both of those. We'll post that up and get you guys that information. But yeah, go buy all my stuff. I need to get it out of here.
Sweet. Uh, Rick says, do you use eBay's global shipping program?
Yeah, I love it every single time. Anytime I ship internationally, it's with them because all they have to ship is, or all they have to pay is shipping to like Oregon or whatever. Like for me, it's Oregon because it's closest. I'm 2 hours from the border, so they ship it out to Oregon. You ship it to Oregon, and they do the rest. So all you have to worry about is shipping to Oregon. It's great. I love it.
Very cool. Toby says, please explain the concept why you lost sales slash customers when you offered free shipping.
Okay. Um, because we had to up our prices. We couldn't just offer free shipping. It wouldn't have worked again for our flip rate. So I'll use the mug for an example. So if this mug is selling for $12 plus $5 shipping, we made it $17 total. What ended up happening is it's $5 shipping if you're shipping to Southern California from here. It's not $5 shipping if you're shipping to New York or overseas. So with free shipping, we ended up eating a ton of costs because all of a sudden we got all these people from New York, all these people from, all the West or the East Coast diving on our stuff because they're like, oh, this is a great deal. It's free shipping. And then we ended up losing money on the end. And also, to your question about why we lost money, it was or we lost sales is because our prices were too high. There was other people who must have gotten it for cheaper prices than us, or didn't care as much about their flip rate, and were able to price it lower for with free shipping, and we weren't able to do that. So we ended up losing quite a bit of money.
Wow. Stephanie asks, do you only sell used items?
No, no, I have a bunch of stuff in the shop that's new. It's just I live in a lower income area, so the quantity of brand new stuff is not as high. It's something that we had to factor in moving up here and choosing to navigate this whole area. Is it's a small town, and it's a retirement community. So even if you are getting new stuff, it's usually from the 90s. It's a shaver, face shaver from the 90s, and it's like I can't sell that. Nobody's gonna buy that. So, um, one of the things I forgot to tap into and talk to you guys about was use Craigslist to your benefit. Type in one of the things I am constantly searching in is collections. I literally just type in on Craigslist collections. I've bought in 3 collections so far that have been incredibly lucrative for me. One, the most lucrative for me was I saw this guy was selling a collection on Craigslist, but he was selling it at a garage sale, and it was for model ships, so like little models. And we have made, I can't even tell you how many thousands of dollars we've made off of this. We bought his entire collection. Well, I mean, we shoveled out some from some big money for it. I think it was between $600 and $800 for these items, but we have made, I think, to date 25 to $3,000 on them. I think that's right. I'll check my numbers, but it has been incredibly lucrative, and that was literally from going on Craigslist, typing it in, and finding a collection. So you guys use that to the best of your ability, as well as go to thrift stores. it's a gold mine. Every single time I go in there, I find exactly what I want and exactly what I need. And I have a list of what I want now. I told you guys earlier, go to, look up hot sellers, pick 3 items that you like and sell them. I find my 3 items every single time I'm in there. So yeah, thrift stores, garage sales, Craigslist, private label. Back to, do you buy things that are brand new? Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to get into the private label game. I mean, Brett is the guru on that, and I'm following in his footsteps. I'd love to get into that. eBay's a great place to sell new if you're selling new collectibles. You got to think of eBay. How I've had to process through eBay is Amazon is um, they are a younger demographic. Whereas eBay is going to be the collector. It's going to be, I bought a whole, I think it was like 120 porcelain dolls. And that's been a good seller for us. I wouldn't suggest doing it. It's way too much work. But it is a good seller. And they've taken a little longer, but it's collectors. It's collectors who are on eBay. It's people who, they're looking for the one-off part to their record player that you have. And the reality is, you have things all over your house that somebody is looking for. I wouldn't suggest just starting out, for our beginners. I know it was only a little percentage, but for our beginners, go look around your house, find stuff that you have, research it, and post it up. See if people pick up on it. The worst thing that can happen is you don't get sales. That's not the end of the world. Go out to your local garage sales, find some new stuff. Um, I actually prefer eBay to Amazon. I know that's not super popular, but I've ended up falling in love with the community I'm in, and have figured out how to best use my current circumstance to my ability, and I'm selling great, doing great numbers. So I prefer, up here where I'm at, I prefer using eBay any day.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we're gonna do two more questions because
Cool.
we're running up against time. These are awesome, all awesome questions. So literally, we have like 30 more questions, which is great. But the cool thing is, save your questions. We're gonna be doing more things like this in the future. Um, let's see. Good question. Did it take you quite some time to get sales before you had a lot of feedback? Especially since you don't really ask for it.
Yes, it did. It did, and it's a pain in the butt. I think we, on our other account, the account from Southern California, that's the one I was working on the longest. It took about 6 months for us to really get into our stride. And don't be afraid to take time. Don't be afraid when you're looking at, man, I've only gotten like 16 people feedbacks. Like, we've been running the current place I'm in right now, in this store that we open up. We've been running it for 3 months, and I think we're up to 90 feedbacks, or whatever you call them. Like, our we have quite a bit of sales, but the feedback is really hard to get. So please don't get discouraged, guys. It's not that big of a deal. It's not the end of the world. You'll get it, and you'll be established, and you'll be a top seller.
That's awesome. Cool. Last question, and then guys, right after that, stay tuned. I promise it's just going to help out for future stuff. It's not a pitch, I promise, but it will really, really help us out, which will help you out too as well. It's just another thing for us to see what you want. So, last question. I had it. Which one was it? Dang it. Um, Oh, here it is. How do you optimize your eBay listing so that for eBay search, so your listing will actually get found?
It's a great question. Um, I'm actually for the last few months I've been digging into that. Key search terms is huge. You want to make sure that your listing is up to date. You want to make sure that your title is up to date. You want to make sure that when you're listing it, you're not just going silver mug. That's you're not going to get as much hits on silver mug as beautiful ornate silver um, mug with a hand carved or whatever. Like, find creative ways to optimize your title, as well as looking what other people who have sold. I'm so sorry to get to this, but just for this last part, look on sold listings. Don't base your prices, what you're going to sell your items off of. Don't base your prices off of current listings. Do them as sold listings. Now, what I would do, again, we're going to use the mug as an example. I would go and search for the sold listings to this mug. I would get the best title, the most creative title, and I'd post it up there. I'm more likely to buy something if it's a pretty title. I got to be honest. If it's a good-looking title, if they've sold their item in that, I forget 100 and some odd letters, I'm in. I'm serious. Like, I've bought so many things because of a title. So optimize your title. Look at what people's sold titles are. There's also websites that you can generate your titles that hit on key search terms. Look it up. Get into it. It's way worth your time. Again, time.
That's awesome, man. Love it. Okay, guys. So we are at the end of the webinar. I'm going to load this quick poll up. Basically, this will help us to determine what do you want to know in the future, because we have a whole team of people. We have me. I do a lot of the online marketing stuff, a lot of the content creation, product information, product creation, things like that, Infusionsoft, all that craziness. Josh is amazing with eBay, but he's also amazing with other things as well. And we have a whole team of people, and plus we're going to be partnering up with a lot more uh, with other big name guys uh, in the future. So, if it's eBay, if it's Amazon, if it's WordPress, if it's whatever, it helps us to be able to deliver to you what you want the most out of these webinars like this. So that. Hey, I just pitched you a poll. This is a no pitch webinar, so I apologize for pitching you this poll. Um, but hopefully you thought this was awesome. We have yes, this webinar is recorded. The cool thing, guys, is if you share this, if you share on the social sharing thing, or if you even share the link that comes with the social sharing thing, whoever you share it with actually gets the webinar replay too when it's up, and you'll get an email with the replay. But yeah, we are dying to bring this to you. This is actually Brett Bartlett's idea to go and start doing this and to build a community, and to really be able to help each other like this through these webinars, as well as the podcast. I don't know if you know that we have a podcast. If you search Google for the Online Empire Academy podcast, you can actually subscribe to that on iTunes. It's another free way to ask questions of Josh, of me, of Brett, of whoever that we have on that show. But you can subscribe to the Online Empire Academy podcast. That's another aspect of this. So we're excited to bring that to you as well. So DA says, quick question, how is the mic connected to the computer? That wasn't in the poll, D. That's stick to the poll. No, I'm just kidding. That's I have a mixer, I have a Mackie mixer, and it's connected to my computer input. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. I love it. And we can even talk about podcasting. That's another thing that we can talk about. But thank you guys so much for being here, and hopefully this was valuable to you. You guys are welcome. You guys are welcome, Bonnie, Danny, everyone else. Thank you so much. Thank you to Jordan too for sharing this out to so many people. He's an awesome guy. And Josh, before we take off, you have the last word, my friend. What should people know about eBay?
Know that it's a fun avenue to make good money. Again, love your product. Do it. It's worth your time, and enjoy the process. It's fun. It's fun to be out there. It's fun to communicate with people. Just make sure you're enjoying yourself doing this. It's not worth your time if you're not having fun.
Awesome. Awesome. You're welcome, Daryl. Welcome, Anne Marie. Um, that's it, guys. I hope you guys have a great time, and we'll shoot you a message when we have another one of these. Have a great one. This is Dean Soto with the Online Empire Academy podcast and Brett Bartlett Enterprises, actually Bartlett Enterprises, and then Josh Woodward as well. So we're gonna see you in the next webinar. See ya.